How's it going, folks? Rob here. Welcome back to the channel. Going to do some rally today. Going to show off an event I built a little while ago, but completely forgot to share with everyone. Going to do it today. Is my I've got two here, but we're only going to do the left one, the Rally X. So the other day I did the Gauntlet race, which I haven't done for a long time, probably 4 or so years. You know, it's the big dirt race in the career mode of sorts, and it's, you know, it takes 20-25 minutes, wraps around the whole map. It's massive, takes ages, but I never quite enjoyed it because you spend half the time on tarmac, which kind of defeats the purpose of a dirt rally series. And I think it all comes down to the poor design of the Mexico map, especially for dirt rally. Rally improved, in my opinion, on the rally expansion, but the roads are too wide, it's too easy. I like technical, tighter tracks, so this is what I made my Rally X stage. It is 20.6 kilometers long, starts up near the highway, winds its way through pretty much all the fields down below, heads down to the old abandoned airport. Today we're going to go through it. I'm going to share it down below as well, the share code, as you can see on screen. Check it out if you want. You don't need a super fast, powerful car for this one. It is quite narrow. There's a lot of tight, technical corners. This is my B-Class rally car, under 800. B700, under 300 horsepower. It's not that powerful, but on a tight track like this, it does feel quite quick. So you don't really need to be bringing some 900, 1200 horsepower monster. You're probably going to be wall riding your way around it. As you get going, you'll understand what I mean. I like to make a technical, narrow track to make slower cars feel quicker than they are. So we're going to go through it. You can get a feel for it, and if you enjoy it, you can download and have some fun before Horizon 6 drops. Most of the time you're on the dirt. Oh, that's really bad. I should actually change gears. Yeah, every now and then we do cross the road, but majority of the time, I want to say like a good 95% of this is on dirt. And I utilize all these little roads, dirt roads between the fields that the game doesn't really use in the rally stages. In this one, I use them. So there's custom corners to make it a little bit more challenging. You want a bit of an agility-based car. A lot of the time you're spent in first gear going around a lot of these corners. You're handbraking a lot to get the back end around. And there you go, tight left, tight right, and then a hill climb. Big cars, like the big long cars like the Cadillac and those 6x6 pickups aren't really going to be effective around here. That was pretty much too quick. How'd I get that into reverse? Anyway, got another little tight corner around the tree, handbrake to get the back end around so you clear the tyre wall, and then you've got a bit of a downhill section. Majority of the time you're doing under 100 kilometers an hour. There's a few sections where you can get it up to around 180, which you'll see later on. You're really going to test the brakes out. How did I do that again? Let's act like we know what we're doing. Again, I am not one of the top drivers, but I do like to have a bit of fun. I am a man who can't multitask, so talking and driving at the same time, not one of my strong points. Handbrake around there. I love this car. Even if it's B-Class, it's such a great little fun car to drive, the WRXs. Hopefully they improve the sound effects on Horizon 6. This car obviously, but pretty much all the others as well. First gear, tight right as we work our way down there. Again, like I said, using all these little tiny narrow back roads between the fields. Watch out for the fence that I just hit. I should know it was there. I put the bloody thing there. I'm going to back up and I've stuffed that up completely. And we're going to work our way through here. Tight right onto the main road. It is set during the wet, so it is a bit slidey. There's a bit of mud. Again, I'm hoping that affects the cars more in the next game, but as we work our way through the next field, over the jump. Why is there a jump there? Why not? And we're going to do a little handbrake turn through here. I put the stone walls because they are breakable because you're going to hit them. That in rear-wheel drive cars really struggle with that last corner. So I recommend a rear-wheel drive conversion to all-wheel drive. Oh my god, I'm doing a shit job. Work your way around the field of whatever those red things are. I'm not sure. I'm not a farmer. As we hit the brakes hard. Yeah, two upgrades is recommended for this one. Gearbox, nice short gear ratios, and some racing brakes because you're going to give them a workout. there's a few spots later on where you're doing some hard braking downhill into really tight corners, and yeah, you want your brakes to work, otherwise you're destroying your car. Quick jump over the highway. Fast cars can clear it, that one is not. As we work our way down here, hard on the brakes again, get the back end out with some handbrake action, work our way down around. What are these plants? I don't know, but they are quite bright. Work our way around the plane. I can't remember if I put that down, if it was already there. It's been a while since I built this. I just completely forgot to share it. Watch out for the tree, it does stick out. There's a fence on the right here, don't hit that. Some of these corners are quite narrow and technical. Again, just watch your speed. Try and get your line right, otherwise you're going to get punished. So work your way around here. Another tight left. That was a bad corner. As you can see too, where I put the checkpoints is usually behind a wall, so you can't really corner cut. Watch your speed. Slide it around. Flip the wall. This one especially is really hard on the brakes. This really tests your brakes because the the dirt is a bit wet. And you do slide a bit and you build up a bit of momentum there, but yeah. And those fences I put up in the middle of the road there are not forgiving. These concrete ones I'm going to hit because I took way too much speed through that one. Again, just utilizing all these little back roads that the developers made and ignored. Slide through here. Now, one feature I'd love on Horizon 6 is the option to remove items from the world when you're creating something. So to get like a virtual lawnmower out and cut some of this grass out and make it look like a real track, remove trees and bushes, and every time I do an off-roading event, wherever I set the path to go, there's always logs and stuff in the ground, so I'd love to remove that. So this is the off-roading kind of cross-country section. This is purely designed to link up to the next part, but it's good fun, it's a good challenge. The car does slide around, you want some good off-roading tyres for here. And to watch your speed because those fences are going to be painful. Front-wheel drive cars that I've driven through here being a little bit wet, not fans of that. They can't really get the grip down. So we work our way through the field. I'm not a massive fan of this section. I just don't like cross-country events. And I'm trying to keep it, you know, fairly technical and narrow, but that's pretty much one of the widest parts of the cross-country event. It's hard right, ignore the chickens through the farm. I know exactly where this goes, so I'm pretty familiar with it. Obviously I built the damn thing. There are, you can see the arrows and the signs to let you know where to go, but it is still a bit tight and tricky at times, and I get confused as well. But because it's over 20 kilometers long, which is quite long for an event, which this took a while to set up, I was at the prop limit, so some of these corners are not as detailed as I'd like, so you can work out where to go. It's going to be a bit of trial and error, but I've always tried to put signs up so you know where to go left and right. But yeah, I thought about putting like dirt props. You can put those square panels down for the dirt down so you can fill in some of the gaps where you go off-roading and cross-country, but it kind of looks a bit stupid and it kind of makes the cars bounce around where they connect, especially if you're building and you're connecting them where it's a bit hilly. I don't like the effect of it, so I kept them out. Hopefully you can figure it out. I have worked it out. After a couple of goes, you kind of work out where you got to go. I have tried to put up as many flags as along the path as possible so you can follow, and every corner does have the signs telling you go left or right. Oh, I should have braked a bit earlier. I didn't take that corner like I was driving a rally car. That's a bit better. Tight corner through the fields. Stick to the outside again. We're going to wrap right around this field. As we slowly work our way towards, we're at 43%. We're up to 7 minutes. I told you, it is a long event. 20 kilometers long. Most of it, as you can tell by now, is on dirt. As we completely stuff that up. Edit that out. Or not. Alright, this is pretty much the fastest section of the race coming up. This corner is good fun. You can get a bit of an vanilla jump, and you can get thrown into the corner if you're not careful. So we work our way down here, building up to over 180 clicks now, at least in this B-class car. Hard on the brakes because we've got a really tight corner coming up here and it's not forgiving. As here we go, we're at the halfway point. Again, this is where I'd love to be able to remove trees and bushes because I know exactly where they're going, but other people might find it a bit challenging. As you can tell, I've done that before. Now we're onto this road. This is the longest part we're ever on the road for, as we cross 50% over the jump. Again, there's a jump there because, yeah, just to break it up. Into some cross country, so we're going to get the car to slide out a bit, because this is a really tight corner, and I'll pulse that up. There we go, quickly to the left. Again, you got to pay attention because all the grass and the bushes, it can be a little bit hard for these next couple of kilometers to see where you're going. Again, I've done my best to make it easy to follow. Left, we're going to be going back and forth over this river quite a lot, so get used to it. Fly up along here, it's nice and open. We're going to fly out hard right onto the road in a minute. Go from mud and dirt onto the road. You can slide a bit, and then we're going to go up a little bit and do the same thing in reverse. Watch the tyre wall. Don't build up too much speed because we've got another really tight corner coming up here. A bit of downhill as well, so your car does slide around. Again, I'd recommend something with a shorter wheelbase with all-wheel drive. Go across here. This is a pretty fast section coming up here. Couple of two left-handers. Again, watch your speed. There are trees. As we work our way down again, we're going to cross the river yet again. Deja vu. This is another quite tight corner. Fences. Actually did a pretty good job. This part is a little bit tricky. Just stay to the left of these bushes, otherwise you're going to hit the tyre wall. Again, you can't remove the damn things. Hopefully when we go to Japan we can remove that stuff. It would be pretty good. Alright, one of my favourite corners in this track. You get it done right. Handbrake around the corner, down the drop, and across the river again. You've got it. Alright, let's work our way up here. Got another little tight corner to test out the cars. And now we're going to climb up the hill. Again, up on the right, there is a fallen tree. Just try and take this. There's the tree. Again, I'd love to remove that. Alright, got another little chicane. Slalom thing up here. I'll hit the damn wall again over the jump. Lost all our momentum. Over the 10-minute mark. Watch your speed coming up here because there is a bit of a drop off. Yeah, we'll hug those fences if you do carry too much speed. Again, another fast flowing corner. It does feel really good when you handbrake around them quite nicely. Again, another lefty. We work our way slowly to the airport. We're getting there slowly. We've got not that long to go. Another K or two, we're at the airport. And then the track wraps around that for a little while as well. And let's get the back end out. Bad gear change. Bad gear change. Alright, again, watch out for this tree on the inside. I may or may not have rolled on that a couple of times. And again, momentum hard on the handbrake, get it around here. Again, bad gear change, Rob. Pay attention. Watch out for the tree on the outside. That one. I'm just showing you what not to do. Again. And here we go. We're finally at the airport. A little bit of open road. Again, we're going to do another hard left. Take it out wide. Get onto the grass. Not too wide because I made sure the checkpoint's nice and narrow so you don't run too wide and cheat. Now we're going into the airport. We don't really use the runway, we just cross it once or twice. Again, I wanted to keep this on dirt as much as possible because the gauntlet event, even though it is long, most of the time you're on dirt and it's kind of not on dirt, sorry, and it is kind of boring. I'm hoping gauntlet events when they do that in Japan is better. From the screenshots I've seen of the map of Japan, the layout of the map in general is looking far better and a bit more hilly terrain, so I'm hoping we've got some more technical roads, because it is quite boring doing events where you hardly brake. We've got a few really tight corners coming up through this section, so again, utilising your handbrake, you want good clean gear changes, which I haven't been doing. You also want to adjust your gearbox and have nice short gear ratios to get some good acceleration. As you can see, you don't need maximum top end speed. Through the hangars, there is a jump. You can go around it if you don't want to, if your car's not fast enough. Because if it's not fast enough, your back end's going to hit the ramp and do exactly that. Alright, let's loop around the back here. Through the forest of bushes that we can't remove. work our way through here, through the containers. Alright, we're going to loop around up here behind the back of this old plane where it's always foggy for some reason, no matter what time of the year. Alright, let's go. Another tight corner. Little chicane. Hit the wall, why not? Take a bit more paint off. The poor car's been absolutely destroyed with me behind the wheel. Alright, got up to speed again. Slide it out behind these little planes. That was pretty average. Tight right. Watch the wall. As we get them back in. Oh, what am I doing? Edit in a better driver. Alright, let's get this around. First gear. A lot of the time, as I said, you're going to be in first gear. And all-wheel drive car is recommended. As we slide out around the outside of this hangar. I thought about doing like a rally series on the channel with this stage, but we're up to 14 minutes. We're only at 87%. It's going to be too long a video, so I've got a few others which are around 5 minutes long, so I might look at doing a sort of like a rally series where we just basically build up like a budget rally car and throw them around that rally stage where it's a little bit shorter, because a 20-minute video where you're just doing one lap is too long. Alright, so we're almost out of the airport. Did that wrong. I do like the flow of this track when you get it right, when you're paying attention around the planes. Try not to hit them. I just made nearly made the plane roll. Hit the pallets, lost control. Got no idea what I'm doing as we finally leave the airport. We've got one more stretch where we drive along the road for a little bit. When you do an event like this, you know it's been going for a long time. You're just trying to work out where you should end it. But I was kind of having too much fun with this one. Now this corner is one of the hardest ones because you're sliding on the road. You got to take this really short because the fences will destroy you. This car has off-road tires, so it's fantastic in the dirt, but it's average, especially on the wet road. So I'd recommend rally tires just for the times you do go onto the road. You will slide around a bit too much. Alright, we're going to cross the road for the last time and then make our way up to the hill. Originally this is where I was going to end it, but I kind of went a bit carried away, so we're going to take a right just after the tree, cut through the forest. It's a bit sketchy because it's a bit overgrown, but I know where to go. Work our way through slowly, try not to hit shit, and there we go. We're going to climb up the hill, about to go over a jump, cross the part where we drove across before. Alright, we're almost at the end. We're going to avoid the trees, over the jump, into the river one more time because we love the river. And that is it. That is my rally stage. That is my gauntlet. 18 odd minutes later. 15 minutes odd later. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, the share code is down below. You're more than welcome to check it out. I hope you enjoy it. I had a lot of fun driving on it and building it. And hopefully we get some decent rally stages on Horizon 6 in Japan. At least now the car's fixed. So until then, I'm Rob. Hope you enjoy. I'll be back in a few days with another video. Until then, see you later.